Well, Good Friday to you. We're not Good Friday like Easter, Good Friday, but
hello.
It's a little early for that, but we think every Friday is good because we're spending it with you. Welcome to WCSM's General Store with me, as always, Curt Durnall, Mark Raper, and Bill Williams. We are coming to you from the 70x7 studio with producers Mike Richardson and Carter.
That's right.
Say his last name for me, right?
Longardner.
The right way?
Yes. Common spelling on that.
Longardner.
That's right.
That's a big word. That's a big name.
It's a lot.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's almost as tall as you are, isn't he?
He is. Now, my swoop is a little higher than his in the front.
Oh, so you got him beat by the hair.
And he gives that to you.
And
he does.
Yeah, he's your barber.
All this.
We're going to need to talk to Carter about that.
Kurt likes it.
What are you
doing?
Kurt likes it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's all that. I mean, what are you
All
going
the eye
to
of the beholder.
do? Speaking of which,
Oh, don't.
if you watched the first, say 4 episodes, you probably noticed that Kurt sat on my right side. He sat there, right?
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, he sat there, and Mark sat over here.
Yeah.
Bill and I are in the same seat.
Yeah.
But you're now in a...
Am I?
Did you move? Did you move seats? He moved seats. Did he ask you, Mark?
His agent called me.
Oh, he had
His agent, Curt Durnall, called me.
And what did his agent ask you?
He wasn't getting his best angle on the YouTube.
Best side.
On the YouTube?
On the best side, sorry.
Listen.
Here it comes.
Here we go.
Let's just get this out in the open, right?
We already did.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
I have a better side than the other one. So, we've decided to put this thing out there, so why would I not?
So I don't know if Mike can do this on the fly, but if he can, he will do it.
Okay.
So, Mike, while we're talking about this, I'm going to need you to get this side and then this side for the viewers so that they can see, and then we'll let them decide which is your best side.
We'll let them decide.
So which do you think is your best side?
My left.
See, he's not blessed like I am. I'm equally bad on all sides.
There you go.
You're bad all the way around.
Yes. There's just no way.
You say this is your best side.
Right. So as I'm looking at the host, the whole show, basically, I would
Okay,
like,
so turn your head that way further. This way. You think that's your best side?
Oh, that is good.
Now turn that way.
You said a little bit. You said a little bit.
Did you see that, Mike?
Yeah.
I blew you back, didn't I?
So now turn that way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
You definitely need to turn. Hey, please turn.
Please turn back. Turn back.
Oh, that was hideous.
Okay. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
This has kind of been an ongoing thing since we started doing
yeah.
the podcast and working with Mike and Carter.
Right.
And Curt has mentioned several times about his good side to
Oh, yeah.
Carter.
Yeah.
I thought this was your good side.
You're nice. But
No.
it's not.
No, I think this side
Thanks, Mom.
looks better, but it doesn't matter. They're both beautiful.
You thought when we were
Every
taking the
side
photos.
is beautiful in its own way.
There it is.
Hey.
It's in its own way.
There you go. In its
Mom.
own way. Yeah,
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You raised boys.
I think you're right.
I did.
When we were in the photo shoot, I think he was doing the other side.
I thought this was the good side.
I think he's changed.
I'm so confused. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're in the seat
Listen,
that you want to be in.
Are you happy?
I can't help. Is that what matters?
Because that's all that
That's
matters.
what matters.
All right.
That's what matters.
Kurt's happy now.
We know
we
that.
can move on.
So, hey, blame Carter. He's the one that does this.
Can he not make both sides look good?
I don't think so.
Not that they don't both look good, Curt.
He's not a magician, Sheila.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so,
right.
I mean, he tries.
Okay. He does a good job.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Speaking
I
of
appreciate
hair,
it.
you're welcome. How about all this glory going on over here?
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's just a retirement thing. You have to do it.
yeah, well, it's funny. The very first few episodes,
Yeah.
your hair was still pretty short. From you guys had to keep it short.
Right.
Indiana State Police like military,
Right.
high and tight, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but it's coming in quite nicely,
Yeah.
Mark. It's great.
Thank
Now, when
you.
I first met you, you and I first met, I was singing, and you were clogging at
Yes.
the Red Barn Opry
Yes.
in Bloomfield down in good old Greene County.
Yeah.
And your brother was fiddle
Yes.
player, and I was in the band, but
Yeah.
we were like 15, 16 years
Oh
old,
yeah.
probably, something like
absolutely,
that.
Yeah.
But you had like the John Travolta
Oh,
locks,
yeah.
the feather,
Oh, yeah.
the part down the middle. And
Oh yeah.
so,
Absolutely.
We may have a picture.
Oh,
we may have. A
if we
picture
do,
of
we'll
that.
get it up. We'll get that up.
I think
Yeah.
Mike will do that.
There is
for
a
us,
picture that
so.
exists.
Yes.
So
several.
Yeah. By
public-
the way, I'm going to have a discussion with Mike.
Uh-huh.
So one of the first couple of episodes, I think, we were talking about me being Miss Indiana. He snuck a picture of me
Yeah.
in, and my
Yeah.
hair was
Yeah.
this big.
Yeah. It's
And
still-
Oh, is
and you're still only 4'2".
Yeah, exactly. Me.
That's one of the greatest camera.
I mean, I had exactly that was.
Yeah.
I think that's the picture he took was when
Yeah.
we were doing the parade.
Yeah, yeah.
And all these 5'9" to 6 foot girls come in, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you see the camera go, and there I was. It's the funniest thing ever.
Miss
In fact-
Indiana.
In fact, go
Wait.
and look it up.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, go and look it up. It's Miss America 1988 opening number, I think is what it is. But just watch it long enough to see all of us walking, and and the funny thing is you can see all these girls, they're all the same height, and you'll see from like the background somebody walking across like this, and I get in line, and literally the camera goes. It's the funniest thing
It
ever.
is.
But yeah,
You
got
did,
it.
but you represented Indiana very well.
yeah.
it was a real blessing. It
I've got
really
a great
was.
autograph. Of
You're,
that.
I'm gonna
I think that was
say-
your Christmas gift
It
one year.
was. It was.
I
That
think-
was so
I
nice.
As a
think-
joke.
I
but-
think you're the only Miss Indiana that I've ever met.
Oh,
in
there's
person.
been some great.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever. Have you met another one? I haven't.
No.
So you're the only one I know.
Tiffany Storm from Bloomington was Miss Indiana. She was.
Don't know her.
Let's see, I was 80,
Sure, she's a nice girl though.
I was 87. She must have been like around 93, 4, somewhere around in there, I think. Shelley Yoder was Miss Indiana. She wasn't from Bloomington at the time. But and then Katie Irk was from, I think, Salem, Indiana. I don't know what her title was, but when she became Miss Indiana, and she's our one and only Miss America from Indiana.
Oh,
and
wow.
she's a 4-H girl.
I didn't know that we ever won.
Her dad owned a dairy farm, and she showed dairy cow in 4-H, and
Wow.
she's our only Miss Indiana, Miss America. She's
Okay.
fantastic.
That
yeah.
is.
So
I didn't know.
anyway.
I didn't know we won it.
Yeah.
How about
I would
that?
like to know. I have a question about Miss Indiana.
Okay.
Do you ever have like a big Miss Indiana party where you all get together as former Miss Indianas? Is there like a club for Miss Indiana?
Well,
sorority. type
Yes.
thing.
There
that kind of-
are.
I know you get together with some of the girls that you had
Went to Miss America
yes,
with.
I know
yeah,
that.
the Miss America class. But so what we do basically is every year when the Miss Indiana pageant
Mm-hmm.
is held in Noblesville it's right around my birthday weekend in June. So mid-June,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the former Miss Indianas go to that,
Mm-hmm.
and we get to see each other there. And they have like a
introduction thing. Where
they
sing.
introduce us, and then we also have the night of the pageant. We all go to dinner together.
That's
so,
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Who's
yeah, we get to,
what is the oldest living Miss Indiana?
I want to say it might be Tammy Tritchew, and she lives in Chicago
She
now.
knows her Miss Indiana trivia.
does.
I'm
and
impressed.
she was probably from the 70s, early 70s maybe,
Yeah.
I think.
But you still are in contact with a lot of your friends from that.
Yeah, my
pageant,
best
right?
friend was Miss Louisiana the year I went to Miss America. So she was Miss Louisiana 87, I was Miss Indiana 87. She was from Monroe, Louisiana, and I was from Monroe County, Indiana, which is really crazy. But she lives here now in town and has
that's
for
cool.
several years, raised her girls here. But she ended up in Bloomington because
Okay.
of me, met someone here when she came to visit me, and has lived here since. Been here for a long
I
time.
think
But
she's
yeah.
one of our listeners, right?
Probably so, yes. Yep. Because she watched
is
it.
Patricia
Brandt.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
she's on my list.
Yeah,
somewhere.
so she's a
She made the list.
she did.
incredible ventriloquist. She actually had 2 dummies. She was a talent winner.
Kurt and I were there.
Yeah.
I don't.
Hysterical.
What does he mean, Bill?
That's,
What's he mean?
Hey, see, this is the value of Mark Raper. Right there.
Now we finally know.
Right there. That was it. That was the money right
Wow.
Boom.
there.
Good job, Mark.
So,
Attaboy.
Hey, just any dummy can do this.
yes, not just any dummy. Yeah, so she had 2 dummies, and she sang. She's a ventriloquist, and she did Oklahoma Yodeler or Arizona Yodeler. I can't remember what the name of the song. And Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So she sang in rounds
And
with
drink
her.
water at the same time.
No, she didn't do that, but yodeled and sang in rounds. It was incredible. She was a talent winner. And
It's hard to beat a ventriloquist. It really is.
she's amazing. And she was first runner-up to Miss America.
Darcy Lynn on America's Got
Yeah.
Talent. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Ventriloquist.
You think Patricia still does that?
She can.
Yeah?
And she's second generation. Her mother was a ventriloquist, taught her. And then her daughter, Sophia, is a ventriloquist. So there's 3 generations of ventriloquists
kidding.
there. Yeah, it's really, really an incredible story. So
neat.
pretty neat. Yep. So there you go. Love you, Patricia. She's my girl.
Should have her on the show.
I should have her on the show.
Right?
I should have her on the
I already
show.
have the 2 dummies.
Yeah.
Right. That's,
You don't have to bring the dummies.
it might be.
The dummies are already here.
It might be a little uncomfortable for you two, but she'll be on the show probably.
They do have the in Gatlinburg. They have a show where they have the dummies. They put the mask on front of them where they pull the string, and it makes it look like the human is talking.
Oh, that's funny.
So maybe we can pull that off.
That would be hysterical.
Yeah.
That's funny.
They do this song, the Willie Nelson song, To All the Girls We've Loved Before. And, he's got the string on the bottom of each chin. And it's hilarious. It's a very good
funny.
show. Yep.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's
Love
good.
it. I bet
It's
that's
funny.
good.
Lloyd Wood do that too? Does he
No.
do a version of that?
He
Yes,
does.
but he
Yes,
does
so
the
that-
2 voices.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he does
He
Willie
turns
and
his head.
Well,
Julio.
no, that's the Bill Anderson song. He does male and female. And he does the man side, and then he turns and does the lady side. Yep.
Yeah.
Lloyd Wood's
What
a
song is
legend,
that?
man.
What is the song that he does? It's Bill Anderson song. And
That is something.
because it's something where it's, of course,
Who
it's
did he
a
sing
wish-
it with?
himself.
No,
He
no,
does
no.
Oh,
the
it's not
female
still.
part. Yeah,
No.
I think it is still. Because he does the girl just says like one word, still, or something.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, he just does it real quick. Yeah.
Okay, that might be it then.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That was the big. That was
He
Bill
does-
Anderson's big one.
He does wear the Willie Nelson wig though. For songs. Yeah, he
He's-
does. that.
I showed up to see him, Lloyd.
He's a
Wood,
treasure.
and he wasn't at the show where he was going to be. Yeah,
Aw.
so he had already performed that day at the Covered Bridge Festival or something.
Oh,
So
okay.
I miss him. I've never seen him.
Really?
Really?
local legend.
I know.
He
I'm
is
trying.
a treasure.
Trying, Lloyd.
Yep.
I'm trying.
Your
But,
brother
You know
plays
what?
with him now,
Yep,
doesn't he?
yep.
That's what.
Hey, I've got his number. Let's get Lloyd Wood on the show.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Call him right now.
Call him up. Let's go. It'll be the only time you get to see him, but let's bring him in. And,
I'd love to.
okay, let's do that.
Love to. Yeah.
We would love to have Lloyd on the show.
Absolutely.
That'd be fun. Okay, that's a done deal. Well, stick around. We've got more from the general store coming up after this. All right, welcome back to WCSM's General Store. Great to have you. Hopefully you came back. I guess I don't really know, but hopefully you stepped out and maybe got you an ice cold sarsaparilla or maybe a
Water.
maybe a water or a big glass of sweet tea.
There
Do you
go.
ever drink unsweet tea? Or is that just like That's not in your category.
Get thee behind me, Satan. No, you got to have sugar a lot. I drink Southern Baptist.
Not according to my doctor. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know. So.
Yeah,
Is
well,
your doctor
I'm sorry.
drinking it? I mean, really?
And will he know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he'll know.
Yeah, when he knows.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. When the numbers come back, he'll know.
Yeah.
He'll know.
No, I drink Diet Coke. You know what I drink. But if I drink tea, it's got to be sweet. And if I make it, it's got to weld your teeth together.
So I'm not a Diet Coke drinker, but does Diet Coke have a sweet taste to it? Is that?
Not really. I mean, I guess.
You go from not really, I guess, to sugary sweet tea.
Yeah.
When you drink it. But you probably don't drink it a lot.
No.
Yeah.
No, the whole thing with this is the carbonation.
Yeah.
What's it do?
I love the carbonation.
One more time.
That's how carbonation makes me feel. I love it. Well, you guys know my whole. Well, that's another. That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, we spent a couple of shows on that before.
Yes.
Yeah. So for sure.
I like Diet Coke, but I only like it in fountain. I don't like the can.
Oh, vice versa.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Mhm.
Isn't that weird? Yep.
Yeah, you are weird. That's weird.
I've always been weird, and I embrace
and you
it.
own it. That's right. Own your weirdness.
A lot of name calling in this
Yeah.
show.
I'm not even-
Mostly,
I'm just kind of
mostly I call myself.
Yeah,
That's all.
there you go.
Yeah. No, I'm weird. I own that.
Out of the can, I prefer Diet Dr Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper's good too.
It is good.
That's got good carbonation and acid in it too. Like it'll
All the
also
good stuff.
it will also melt
yeah.
a steel nail.
I love
it's
it.
the good
There you
stuff.
Yeah.
That does for your battery too, and the acid.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's very good for
Yeah,
your battery.
clean it
Yeah.
off.
Clean your battery post off.
Yeah, does that for your stomach too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Clean you right out. It's good
You could
stuff.
probably use some, bud.
I don't know if I want to be that clean. I'm not.
Oh yeah, you need to be cleaned.
Wow,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
the raper over there.
Yeah, Dr. Raper. Yeah, that's right. That's him. So we need to say hi and hugs to people. So
Oh,
we didn't.
yeah.
We didn't. Who you got over there for us?
Yeah, we got plenty of folks still giving us encouragement, putting their thumbs up and good emojis and words of encouragement, so on and so forth. We've got Kayla Acorn, Jackie Bentley, Randy Rains, who I know
nice.
probably all of you know.
Yep.
He's actually married to my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that right?
and I hooked them up like I introduced him, and he's
Okay.
still mad at me.
Okay.
Sorry,
he'll tell
Jenny.
you.
I'm just a joke. It's a joke. I'm just kidding.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
And Randy Rains, Derek Widener, very familiar with Derek. Bill,
Great artist, by the way. Great local
Absolutely.
artist.
Absolutely. Bill Weaver. Also Keith Gray. I got several pages here of folks. Michael Osborne, Angela Inman, Mike Workman, Cindy Carpenter, Pam Shellhorn, Lisa Marie Hacker, and Sherry Olson.
Very good.
Also giving us
Thank
some
you.
encouragement. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Keep the like. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing, and
Please.
and keep reaching out to us. We love to hear from you for sure.
We do.
Well, last week we talked a little bit about there toward the end. We talked quite a bit during the segment about kids and maybe some tips we had for parents of maybe young kids, some things we learned as we were raising our kids. But there toward the end we talked a lot about, girls respecting themselves and knowing their worth and their value. And I just think that's a lost message on the generation today. I think the girls have been lied to that, that their worth means something else,
Right.
or their value is something else. And so I would love to touch on being the mother of two sons. We hear a lot nowadays about toxic masculinity. And I would like to instead talk about biblical masculinity, which is totally different. And so don't be afraid of being masculine. I've told my boys this, don't be a jerk. You treat ladies or girls, young women, with the utmost respect.
Right.
And now they can't get, these young men, they can't get their head around, you can't use the argument, well, you need to treat them like you'd treat your daughter. Well, they're not fathers.
No.
They can't
They have
understand
no idea
that.
what that means.
No.
None.
So, you can't use that argument, but you just you know, at that point in their life when they're dating someone or have feelings for someone, you know, those teenage years, then how much do you love that girl? Then you have to treat her like she's precious.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
you got to train your boys by biblical masculinity. I mean, you know, men are to treat their wives as Christ, or love their wives as Christ loves the church, right?
That's right.
And if you know how much Jesus loves his church, then that's a pretty great model. And so I think, again, we've been lied to that being masculine is
A bad thing.
toxic.
Yeah.
Now, there's some masculinity that's toxic. There's no question about it,
Yeah,
but not all
yeah.
masculinity is toxic. And so we need to, I think, get back to training our boys how to be good men.
Right.
So you are men. What are your best advice? What are your best suggestions?
Yeah,
Some manners you've taught your boys in
well,
this regard.
And that's the thing is, you know, you teach and you can tell them all you want and you can go over it with them. You can talk to your blue in the face. But I think the most important thing is they see how I treat my wife.
Fantastic.
That- so I'm opening a door for her, and when we get into a discussion that maybe gets a little heated, that this is how we handle this.
Right. How do you respect their mom
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
or your wife?
And then you
Right.
get into, you know, what we call love language. Well, what's your wife's love language? What can you do for her to make her day a little bit easier? And if it's washing the dishes or shoving them in the dishwasher or making the bed or whatever, you know, you don't be above that. I mean,
Right,
that's something that goes a very long way with respect. So I think showing your boys that, showing them that, hey, this is okay. This is what we do as men. This is how we treat our wives.
Lead by example.
And if Christ loved the church like that, that's how I'm supposed to love my wife. Everything I've already said is not enough, but we're trying.
Right.
We're trying. I mean,
Yep.
we can try to attain that love and respect and know that our wives are precious.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that's really, really good. Leading by example is big. And I think it's really hard. So listen, if you're a single mom, there's, you know, and that's kind of an epidemic in our world, right? Is single moms and fatherless, you know, no
That's
fathers
right.
in the homes. It's a real big issue,
I don't
which
know how
is
they do it. How do they?
I don't know.
How do they do it? They're such a awesome feat for them because they do it.
oh yeah.
They do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there, you know, and we've got to support them.
Well, I think my best advice to you, if you are a single mom, especially not only if, but especially if you have a young boy, a son, you need to find him some good male role models, mentors, if there's no father in the home. And I did that even with my boys, especially my oldest. They've got a great father, you know. Perry's a great dad and a great provider and a great husband and all the things. But sometimes, you know, they get to that age where they're not listening to dad. So I then had, you know, Carrie Curry and J.C. Hulls and
none
Bill
better.
Carney and, you know, some great men step into that gap that they respect and would listen to help
Huge.
mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was so blessed as a kid. Every one of my good friends had awesome dads.
Yeah.
I was crazy blessed with that because I'd go over there to their house and I would see how their dads were treating their moms.
Oh, good.
And providing and you know, making sure, hey, you're not going to talk that way in front of your mom. You know, you may say that around the guys, but you're not going to talk that way in front of your mom. And that went a long, long way.
Yeah. You know, here's one of my favorite stories. Some of you may remember Coach Terry Hepner.
Yep.
Some of you may not know who he is. If you don't, you should. I would encourage you to go and research who this man was. Great man. Came here to coach Indiana football in 2005, and he passed away from a brain tumor in 2007. And we had him just a very short time, but I'll never forget. I was his daughter Allison, God rest her soul, who we've also lost, was a dear friend of mine. We were very close for some time, and I'll never forget. This is one thing she told me about Coach Hep. And Miss Jane, who was his wife, the mother of his 3 children. But he would not refer to Jane in regards to the kids and how they were treating her, he would never refer to her as, don't talk to your mother that way. He would say, do not talk to my wife that way.
Nice. Nice.
Puts it on a totally different level, playing level.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
does.
Because
Sure
now
does.
it's a man protecting his wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That was
That's
so
super.
good. And so we learned that when the boys were very little.
Right.
Because that, the boys were very small when Coach Hep was here. And Perry's used that on the boys a few times.
Really?
Yeah. And
Awesome.
it does, it changes it. So think about things like that, maybe a little bit outside the box where you're raising up your boys. And I think another thing that is so important and I think lost is, again, because there are so few fathers in the home now, wrestling is really important with these boys because they need to be physical, and they need to be physical with somebody that can handle them, right? But it also teaches boys, it's very important that they learn to, and psychologists will tell you this, that they learn to wrestle, and then because they get all amped up, right, and all geared up, and then their dad says, all right, that's enough. They've got to know how to put the brakes on, right?
Exactly.
So when someone says no, it's time to stop.
It's time to stop.
Right?
Exactly.
No.
We've lost so much drywall over the years at my house.
Yep.
Of my kids being thrown into the wall because, they're wrestling and they got to get that out. They're boys, they're doing that. But, they didn't stop quick enough. So
And when someone says no, it means no.
it means no.
Right?
Yeah, exactly
so
right.
the dad teaches them that.
Yes.
Through the wrestling and it's a hard lesson for them to learn.
Yeah,
But
it
they
totally
need to
is.
learn it. And so there's a lot of things like that I think have been lost over the generations. And so some of our men have become toxic because they're not being taught true biblical masculinity, which is none of the things that society tells us men are.
Right.
So I think we've lost a lot in that translation. So,
Yeah, you're right.
know.
You're right. And another thing, if I could add, I tell my boys, when you're dating, it's for a reason. You're dating to go out and meet your future wife.
right.
So if you know already that particular girl is not going to be somebody that you want to be the mother of your kids, then don't date that person. You know, that's why you're out there. You're out there to date somebody who you are going to spend the rest of your life with.
You're looking for your spouse. Right.
Exactly. You're looking for your lifelong partner, spouse, mother of your kids. It's, that's one of those things. You don't go out with somebody who doesn't fit that. That's it.
Right.
You just stop right there. So.
That's very good. And don't forget to open doors
There you go.
for anyone.
Be a gentleman.
Yes,
That's right.
be a gentleman and open doors and not just the doors to the restaurant, but go around and get her car door, right?
Yeah.
And
I came around and got your car door today because the lock was stuck.
yes, you did. Thanks.
But technically,
Don't feel too good. He did that for all of his prisoners too.
Yes, I know, right. I felt like I was in the back of his commissions.
Yeah.
Where's the fencing?
I was totally being nice and loving.
Yeah,
to you.
sure
Yes,
you were.
As,
Yeah.
as my sister.
Yes, right. But pull the chair out,
Oh, yes.
Pull the chair out. That's
I'm
another
telling
lost
you,
thing.
you will feel so good. Gosh, I know
I tried
people
that
look
at
down
the
on
booth
that.
today
but,
at Outback. It didn't work too good.
Yeah, that's a little difficult. But if I could say one thing here before we wrap up, is you know what? Here's an issue I think we have today is there are probably some young men who would like to be gentlemen, and the young women won't allow it.
They're afraid to.
They won't allow it.
Yeah.
I don't need a man to open my door.
Right.
I don't need a man to.
We get that. We know that.
That's not why we're doing.
But it's not why it's done.
It's respect.
Yeah. It's total respect. It's
Yeah.
totally trying to
It's just
take
showing
care of
respect.
somebody. Just let me take care of you. It's okay. It's okay. I know you can open the door.
But then they want to turn around and complain that there are no real men left in the world. Well, you can't have it both ways, right?
Right.
No, you can't.
So
No, you can't.
You give them a chance.
Exactly.
Let them open your door. Let them pull your chair out.
Right.
Let them treat you like a young lady, and see if that's not the man that you think he should be or are looking for. You're just not giving him a chance to be that. Does that make sense?
And just like the last show, we said, you are worth that.
That's exactly right.
You young ladies out there, you are worth that.
I would demand it.
sure.
You're worth a boy opening a door for
Absolutely.
you. If that boy doesn't open a door for you, you need to ask some questions. That might be a red flag.
Or walk. Just get out. Go. Bye. Call my dad.
Just remember.
And he'll come get me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're worth it. You're
Yeah.
worth it. You are wonderfully and beautifully made.
Well,
so by the Creator.
Again, that's exactly
So-
right. And
so-
I would demand it. So
Absolutely.
instead of saying, no, I don't need a man to do this for me or whatever, I would say, I refuse to be with a man who don't do that for me. That's your mindset, gals, ladies, young women, and that is your worth and your value.
They're out there. Those guys are out there.
Absolutely.
Guys,
Yeah, step up.
step
Don't
it
let
up.
us down.
Don't let us down. We know you're out there. Don't let us down.
Very
Start doing
good.
it.
Awesome. All right. Good job, guys. See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
All
be
right.
back.
All right, sounds good. Well, we hope we'll see you next week, too. So for Curt and Mark and Bill, I'm Sheila, and this has been WCSM's General Store.